On one hand, there's the Squid Game series that the whole world is talking about and has millions of views. On the other hand, there's real life, which is quite similar to the series and contains some frightening details. What conspiracy theories focus on is whether the Squid Game series is actually telling a real story or not. Now, we will expose what happened behind this terrifying event. You will witness some unbelievable details. Before we continue, don't forget to like the video for free by clicking the button below and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any content. What I'm about to tell you is, in a way, similar to what happened in Sydney's prison. This was an event in South Korean history that many people don't know about, have forgotten, or maybe even wanted to be forgotten. It all started after the war in 1960. After the war, rapid industrialization efforts began in South Korea. Industrialization and establishing social order had become the government's top priority. Park Chung-hee was the president at the time. He was a military man, an authoritarian, and a ruthless leader. After 1962, the first 5-year development plan was implemented under President Chung-hee's administration. The president demanded sacrifice in this matter and also hated idle people. At this point, he implemented many policies that violated basic human rights. The policy of removing the homeless, beggars, and individuals seen as a social threat from the streets was initiated during this period. In 1975, a rehabilitation center called Brothers Home was opened in the city of Busan, and these people were placed there under the pretext of maintaining social order. A white minibus would come, pick them up, and take them to Brothers Home. The South Korean government took strict measures to collect individuals living on the streets, especially to protect the international image of the cities and maintain order. But worse was yet to come. Park Chung-hee gave a new order: take anyone you see who looks idle or whom you think is useless. The police were given full authority on this matter. The more people the Brothers' Home officials caught, the more financial aid they received from the government. And naturally, this was abused. Now, they were suddenly even taking away ordinary people, including children. Children were seen as disruptive elements to social order because they were homeless, abandoned, or working on the streets. Hu Bang-jong was one of those who were caught and taken away when he was just 10 years old after being separated from his mother for a very short time at Busan Station. 15-year-old Yong-sang left home to go swimming and wanted to go to a beach in Busan. He got on a train and couldn't return.
Our paths got separated, so I went to the police station to ask for help. But a car from a center called Brothers Home came to help and took me away.
The police report stated I had committed theft. They rounded people up, including children and the elderly. Especially children from poor families were subjected to this stigmatization, and it was believed that these children needed to be rehabilitated. Mr. Shui's life would turn into a complete nightmare in 1982 when he was only 14 years old. He was caught by a police officer while he was on his way to school. The police searched his bag and thought that he had stolen a loaf of bread they found, but he had only put the bread given at school in his bag because it was left over. The police continued to search him and then tortured him. They tortured him until he confessed to stealing the bread. Then they made him sign a document in exchange for what he said, and they put him in a white van and took him to a rehabilitation center called House of Brothers. They called the people brought in vagrants. There was strict supervision inside. Everyone was uniform. They wore blue outfits with white stripes on the edges. They slept on bunk beds. The people inside were subjected to physical and psychological violence. There were problems such as beatings, poor living conditions, and lack of food. Those who tried to escape were punished and even killed. People were forced to work in hard labor without receiving any payment. The institution made huge profits just from this labor force. These drawings made by the victims depict the sexual abuse and violence they experienced. A young girl by her hair, while being dragged by her hair, an officer holding a bloody stick is about to punish some of them. One person has been stripped and is being punished with cold water. Some punishments were carried out as games. This was another one of those games in Hiroshima. People would be turned upside down and made to stay that way until 1 o'clock at night. Those who couldn't endure and fell would get beaten, while those who could endure would win a prize. So, as I said, inside, punishments and rewards were mostly given based on a game. In the promotional film for House of Brothers released in 1981, the place was portrayed as an educational institution offering good education and delicious meals. In fact, in the promotion, those who stayed here were portrayed as criminals, and it was implied that they deserved this place. In other words, they wanted to ease the conscience of the viewers. The only difference between this place, where human rights were violated to an incredible degree, and concentration camps was that this was done under the name of an institution. It was as if the South Korean government of the time was continuing the tradition of the Nazis. People stayed in this concentration camp for many years without having committed any crime. Most of them lost their sanity. Many of them lost their lives as well. According to official records, it is believed that around 600 people lost their lives during this period. The persecution finally ended in 1987. A journalist leaked to the public what someone who managed to escape from the facility had witnessed. The facility drew great public reaction due to the human rights violations that occurred, and it was closed down in the same year. To this day, a comprehensive justice process has never been carried out regarding the murders, sexual assaults, and other serious crimes that took place in the siblings' home. Since most of the incidents took place during an authoritarian regime and in a dark period that did not receive enough media coverage, sufficient evidence could not be collected. The South Korean government has not apologized or accepted responsibility for what happened in this place over the years. According to claims, the series Squid Game was inspired by this incident. The identical uniforms worn, both with white stripes on the edges, the competitive games involving punishment and reward, and the fact that everyone is chosen from people who are now useless, have no benefit, and are in debt and are brought in with white vehicles. Just like in the series, everyone living inside in an order and having no way out. For instance, in Squid Game, no one was held accountable for the deaths. In the brothers' house, no one was ever held responsible for those who died either. By the way, there are images and videos circulating on the internet with the theme, "This was the real Squid Game." All of these are fake contents created by artificial intelligence. I wanted to mention this separately in case there are people who are curious about it. Yes, together, we have witnessed this interesting and rather sad story that has remained hidden for many years. You can write your thoughts about this topic in the comments. I'm Nigma. See you soon.